It's pretty common for people to step on a few landmines after they become a blended family. Things they didn't see coming just sort of blows up on them. But when you're preparing, we want you to get out in front of that. We want you to have a sense of the lay of the land and know where to step to go around those landmines. What kind of landmines are we talking about? Well, complexity and ambiguity are two things that I teach people a lot of. Step-family living is very complex. Let's just do the math for a second on parenting. The average first biological family has 2 parents, right? And maybe 2 or 3 kids and 4 grandparents, 2 sets of grandparents. So that means you got 6 adults joining together to parent and raise these kids. Well, the average blended family often has 3 to 5 parent and step parents in 2 or 3 or more households sometimes. And 5 to 8 sets of grandparents involved. So pretty soon you have 20 people trying to help parent these kids. That's just one illustration of what I mean by complexity. There's more moving parts, there's more stuff, there's different relationships that you didn't really understand the dynamics that would underlie those and how things work differently to be a step parent than it does to be a biological parent. In fact, that's ambiguity. You may have an idea what your role is going to be as the step parent, but 5 other people also have ideas of what your role is supposed to be as a step parent, and they don't necessarily line up. So who are you supposed to be? When are you supposed to do it? What if you and your spouse disagree about your role? Well, that's conflict. What if you're the stepdad and the bio dad and the other home disagrees with what you're trying to do? There's a lot of moving parts. And the more resolution you bring to that ambiguity, the more clarity you get, then now we know how to move forward as a family and we can find our identity as a family. That's what you want, right? So we've got to wrestle with the complexity. We've got to understand the ambiguity. I just gave you a couple of examples: parent and step-parent, relationships, roles, how you work together in unity, co-parenting if there's another household and kids are moving between 2 homes. How do you co-parent to help raise those kids? I talked a little bit about loss and ambiguity of how loss makes it hard to bond in new relationships. Just because you're grieving the death of mom or the divorce that happened somewhere in the past doesn't mean that stops when a new family is forming. As a matter of fact, it continues with sort of this undercurrent riding along with the family as you enter into the new. So how do you help children wrestle with those things? How do you engage in those moments of life where on Mother's Day you can't help but think about mom and how she's gone and not here? Like, that's part of life ongoing. And it all has to be wrapped into the journey of becoming a family with one another. Otherwise, it becomes a landmine. Again, the more you understand these, the more you can maneuver around them, the better your family's gonna be.